it's prime time. Officer, you know I'm on the grind. You know gas prices are way too high. Putin's got to die. Put a bullet in Putin's head. Yeah, that's what I said. I'm a freak for the vaccine. Vaccinate my body at the party. Sipping Bacardi. I'm the proof when I'm in the booth. Spitting on the mic. Putin's anti-vax. Putin hates all of them blacks. Putin is a bad racist. Put him in the ground, white or brown. And I'm in plain old town. And you know you just got found. I'm a pimp on a blimp. Eating lots of steak and shrimp. No, you can't stop my shine. I'm number 99. And you know I grind and shine.
Got a
So good.
Stein. Alex Stein 99.
Hell yeah. Eat steak and shrimp.
Yeah.
How you doing today, man?
Doing good, man. Got some rest this weekend finally, maybe a little bit.
Oh, nice.
Back in the grind.
That's cool. I'm headed in myself. Do some Kizars today.
Oh, Kizars.
Yep. The kids call them.
Hopefully you get the. Maybe you get to work. Do you get to work on some cool, any cool rides that you're like, man, that's a sick ride. Like,
Sometimes. I mean, most of them are, just typical cars. But when I worked at when I worked at a busier shop, from time to time we get something really cool in there. I haven't worked on a bunch of Ferraris or anything like that. But definitely some nice Porsches or some older cars or what have you. But tinting, it's primarily, just daily drivers.
Yeah. You get like a 911 or coming there or something like that? Anything like that?
Yeah, I had a really nice it was a lot of them are all-wheel drive, I guess. Most of them are all-wheel drive, the Porsches. Really nice a Carrera years back that was really dope. I think I've worked on a 911 before. Probably my favorite car is one that actually a shop owned, and it was a 91 Acura NSX, and it was the first year they made those. They only made 200 of them. And it was 1 to 200, and that was cool because if my car was broken down or something, sometimes boss would be like, "Oh, just take the fucking NSX home," I'm like, "All right, man, if you say so." So that was pretty dope. It's not even a super expensive car or anything, but
yeah,
I really liked them, and it being mid-engine, rear-wheel drive, like a lot of the really nice cars like the Porsches are,
yeah.
It's just that weight balance is just really cool, and not a lot of cars have that unless you're, really high-end vehicle. So that was really fun. I really enjoyed that thing, and just looked sick,
Yeah. And see,
Yeah,
I don't know much about Acura. I feel like Acura is a brand that I don't know. I don't know much. I mean, I know.
it's just Honda. It's just fancy Honda. That's all.
Yeah.
So, they made Honda NSXs at some point too, I believe. And I think it was a lot about where they sold them, maybe Honda NSXs were in Japan and they were right-hand drive or something. Don't quote me on that 100%, but I think it's some of the ins and outs like that.
I know. I thought they moved I thought they had Honda NSX in. I thought I saw there was some, or I don't know if somebody just imported a Honda NSX.
They very well may have been here. I'm really not sure. I just know a lot of times that's the differences. We went took it to a car show this one time in Lakeland's big car show, exotic cars, and it's an import or a foreign, and it's it's considered. But anyhow, we're the only one of those, and on the one side of us is all the Ferraris, and on the other side of us is all the Porsches, but we're sort of in that same class technically, but cars really made it feel not that cool, usually I'm sitting there in the NSX at the car show and keeping it shined up and talking to customers and stuff, and felt like like not like a big shot, but he felt cool. I got something cool here, But when you're sitting in between the Ferraris and the Porsches, it's like, oh yeah, it's a pretty cool car, I guess. It's like a it's like a toy compared to those things.
I guess it looks like the some people must have imported some of them from overseas, and it looks like they moved all their stuff, their high end stuff, to Acura. I guess Honda did. Yeah, I guess for the US, it's one of those things where like they have to have certain cars with certain brands, because it's like Cadillac has to have certain types, like you can't have
and it'd be it's
like GMC gets the top level trucks.
What's
like
the word you're looking for there?
Chevy
and
is going to be Silverado or whatever, and like you can't have. Yeah, you got the GMC Sierra or whatever.
Yeah, the brands themselves become the tiers. Yeah, exactly. That was I'm driving through the groves here, so if I cut out, let me know. That was when I first started working on cars. When the first I didn't know it until I started working on them. That it was like, oh yeah, like it's like 4 brands of cars that are actually the 12 brands of cars we know. Toyota, Lexus, Jaguar, Ford.
The Toyota plant.
They're all the same.
The Toyota plant here, they run the what is it? The Highlander, maybe? It's one of the like little crossover SUVs that Toyota makes. And then
the Highlander's a higher end one. Yeah, they're nice.
And then the Lexus one, they run both of them on the exact same line. Like the only thing that gets changed is there's a little bit of change with the interior and the Lexus logo instead of the Toyota logo. Otherwise, it's the exact same fucking car.
Yeah, that's what they told me about the Honda plant here too. Yeah, they just do they're doing Lexus stuff too. Crazy.
Oh yeah,
they just swapped the logo.
Oh yeah, you're down there around where. So that's this plant
they got
here.
A like, hub, yeah.
Yeah, this plant here has the sister plant in Alabama. The one of the guys that's like one of the upper level management guys moved here from there.
That makes sense. Because down here, that's like a key part of our economy. Honestly, like people talk about like the bunch of people work at the Honda plant. They're like, yeah, this is the Honda plant. Apparently, it's a big hub. Like, I guess they have the hub here. I guess they got one up there. I don't know if they have like an east one. I don't know if there's one more east of us or what, but I know that they say that this one's like one of their biggest Honda plants down here in Alabama.
Oh, Honda! I thought you meant Toyota. Yeah, Toyota has a big plant down there as well, and then they've got another one. Yeah. And then they got another one out in Texas. Isn't it funny that like the Japanese figured out that to get around, the tariffs and stuff, it was cheaper to make their vehicles here in the U.S. and yet GM and Ford and all the big like American manufacturers keep moving
We can't do it.
Yeah, they keep moving theirs out of the country. Like, But I guess I don't know about Honda. Like Toyota is not unionized, and that's it's still the best paying job around here. But it's not unionized, and like when GM got their
Honda, I think the Honda plant is unionized because
I say when GM got their big deal last year or the year before, all the Toyota people got all pissy. They're like, "Oh, we need a union too." It's like you literally make more money than anybody else around here. If you do that, they will straight up cut all of your jobs, all of your hours, everything. Like you don't want to do that. Like you will tank Toyota the way that those unions in Detroit tanked General Motors.
Oh, actually, no. I just Googled it, and apparently they voted down to unionize. So I thought they were gonna. I thought it was gonna pass.
I'd say these Japanese plants generally don't. They take really good care of their employees anyway, and like Yeah, and that's why
I
they're
think they're right.
successful here, and that's why they're successful here in the States, where the American car manufacturers aren't.
Yeah, funny how that works, right? Whenever you actually like you care about your employees and actually want to keep them, take care of them and keep them and take them, instead of just like, hey, let's whatever, you don't matter as an employee. It's funny how that works. Whenever you take care of your employees, they output better, and they, because around here, even like as far as like the sales or whatever, I see a lot of Hondas because because people work at the Honda plant. A lot of Toyotas because people work at Toyota or whatever. I mean,
Well, so like I'm not saying that unions didn't have a valuable role at one point in the Industrial Revolution and everything kind of getting to where it is, but now anymore, between the union plants and shops that I've worked at versus the non-union, the unions have become so toxic that now it almost drives the company to treat the employees worse based on the behavior of the union, whereas the ones that are non-unionized, like the companies take care of their people, they value their people. It's like the unions almost seem like they're creating the animosity between the employee and the company. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, right? Especially whenever like the union bosses are they're just like getting themselves raises mostly, and then all of a sudden they they don't really they fight for the employees, but when they do, they're just belligerent and annoying. So like the company doesn't want to work with them. They just tell them screw off. Like
yeah,
like,
it's.
okay.
I know. Let's take a job and turn it into a government bureaucracy. That'll make it work better. Like,
that's exactly what the unionization is.
Yeah, man. It destroys all the market forces of the thing that's supposed to be the backbone of capitalism, jobs.
Yeah.
Well, like,
oh well.
And the things that the union fights for, it's like these are things that you probably would have gotten anyway if you just didn't act like belligerent assholes. Like,
yeah.
Companies have at least these days, companies have a vested interest in actually, taking care of their employees, especially in like legitimately skilled labor of some sort. Like nobody.
I feel like it depends. Like there's some like, especially like the higher demand jobs, like the more jobs that people want to work, they're like, yeah, we don't care. Like, something like you got like a million kids wanting to work with computers or whatever, something like that. So like tech jobs, it's like if most of the time they're like, we could find somebody else if push comes to shove or whatever. If you're the greasy wheel and you want to get the oil, like we'll just send you off instead of giving you the oil.
Yeah, man, supply and demand.
Yep, that's how it works.
And yeah, but cause like I heard it put one time like this, and it's like the basis of your salary isn't like how skilled you are or whatever. It's how replaceable you are. So if there's a dozen people waiting to take your job, dude, hit the fucking bricks, dude. Be a company man or get the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the jobs that offer all the great benefits or this or that, like they get to be picky about who they take, and it's
yeah, I mean
the
Google,
whole thing, yeah.
It's like even for all all their bad publicity or whatever, what have you, like Google, they have their pick. Like everyone wants to work at Google, everyone wants to work at Facebook, everyone wants to work at I don't know, like Netflix or whatever. Everybody wants to work at these kind of companies, like so they literally have their pick of the top end talent. So it's like if you want to be a pain in the ass, like they're just gonna send you on the way.
Yeah, you really got to have some skills to back it up. It's funny talking about those tech companies. We watched Frequency last night, which was set in like it was totally decent. Set in 1999. And the character's brother is lamenting. He's like, "Oh man, if only I'd bought that that Yahoo stock see that Yahoo stock? Oh man, if only we bought in that Yahoo stock. And so that was he goes back in time like 30 years. And he like gives his brother like a tip, like Yahoo, 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 you know, when he's like a little kid. And so then when he comes back to the future, his brother's like got a Mercedes and this and that. Because of it's not a major plot point, I'm blowing anything. A 30-year-old movie
like
anyhow.
Sidebar. Like
But I was thinking about, I was like, man, you know, there was a window there where Yahoo, you know, if you had their stock, you were fucking rich. I have a funny feeling it's not quite like that anymore. I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe if you bought Yahoo stock back in like 97 or whatever, maybe it's still worth something. I mean, Yahoo does still exist, I guess.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But now it would be the Google. Google would be the thing now, you know, to have had bought.
See, if you could have like parlayed, it would be so funny if you could have done this. If you could be like the ultimate like autist who could predict the future kind of thing, and you could buy, you know, Yahoo low, sell it high, buy into Google low, and then they'll sell it high, dude. You'd be like bankrolled like for life.
There's got to be at least one person who was lucky enough.
I bet there's that guy. He's like, I did the technical analysis on this, and I found, you know, that's what they call it, like the technical analysis. They watch the charts. They're like, this is predicted to go up way higher. Like, there's no way. And you know, with all the news, like, you know, I don't think I could ever be like that, like those kind of guys. Like, it's crazy. But
no, there's always a pinch of luck with getting, you know, there's people who are good and they might make like, I don't know, a set return, 20% or something, you know what I mean? But like the people who, somebody would have just like hit like a couple of those things, that's got to be so much fucking luck, dude. It's got to be. Everything looks so obvious in hindsight, you know, investment wise. That's why I can't really do it.
Well, like when you think about like Amazon and how Amazon took off, like nobody
that book company.
Nobody thought people were gonna like order books online. Like you want to go to the bookstore and pick up the book and look at it and thumb through it. Like, you know, nobody's just like sight unseen ordering a book online. That's stupid. And then they effectively put Borders out of business. And what was the other one that basically went out? So like Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Noble. We have a Books A Million in Lakeland. Actually, a bookstore in Lakeland.
I was gonna say it was
weird to go in there.
There was Borders, Books A Million, and Barnes and Noble. And Barnes and Noble still mostly exists. Borders went completely out of business, and then I didn't know there was still Books A Million around.
Books A Million.
There's at least one.
Around. Yeah, there's one here. We've got one here. They're having to diversify into like. Apparently they can't just get people in with books anymore though. They have to have the, like, you know, they gotta have the Funko Pops. They gotta have all the, you know, the kind of crazy
coffee shop in there. You got to make it an experience now. Hey, let's go to the bookstore. Wouldn't that be quaint?
To sit and drink coffee and, you know, maybe read a book, maybe pick up a comic. Or like a manga now, like from the Japanese, like it's like, okay, well, the U.S. stuff isn't selling. What do we have to do? Buy the Japanese stuff. Like get everything from the Japanese stuff, bring it all over here because these kids are, you know, reading all the Japanese stuff.
Dude, kids are into that shit, huh? I mean, that's fine. Be into your shit. And I know like nerds in my day like were into, you know, anime or Japanese. You know, a lot of the, you know, nerdy dudes I knew wore the, you know, the shiny button-up shirts with the dragons on them, and they had a sword, this and that, you know, like, but like, I don't know. It definitely seems like I don't want to use the term worse, but it seems like it's gotten more severe. Or I'm not trying to make it sound negative. It just seems like it's gotten more of whatever that is.
Well, but in defense of that, so like this is the Chainsaw Man manga. We've got the first 4, and Sean and I have read all of them, and we're gonna get more of them eventually. But like when you compare these to the modern comic books, these are so much better. They actually have like substance and story. They're not just like woke propaganda bullshit and dumbassery. Like they're well written, they're well drawn. They're like what the comic books were when we were kids. So that's why these have become so popular. Not because it's like the Japanimation stuff, but because this is this is the actual media for good comic book related material. The stuff that DC has gotten better, but like Marvel is almost irredeemable at this point. And then you've got like Vertigo and some of the other, and Dark Horse, some of the other like smaller independent comic book publishers, but they don't get as much traction. These and plus this is like it's a small book, and you can like there's more content for the money. Like you're telling me $4 for a fucking 10-page comic book versus $8, $9 for this whole ass book. Like, yeah, I mean, this is where the value is, and this is where the good content is. So it makes sense when if you sit down and read any of it. Plus, you've got like, the anime has become more popular, and you got like Demon Slayer, and you've got the manga that goes along with Demon Slayer, Hunter x Hunter, My Hero Academia, or whatever. Like, there's all of these that they have their animes and they have their books, and it all ties together. And it's what comics were 20 years ago.
Yeah, like the My Hero thing, they're even doing a spin-off of My Hero where it's like vigilantes or whatever, like apparently. Like that's going to be coming out soon. They did the manga first, and then now they're going to be coming out like with the anime for it. And like that's what, people are like hyped for that, because it's like, oh, this is not just like the hero thing, that now we've got a whole universe that they can expand on, and they don't have to do this gay thing of like, oh, well, we have to expand the universe, we have to do this whole snap thing, do the whole like, go back in time or do all these kind of weird tricks. No, you just expand on the universe and you tell about different stories about different characters in the world.
Well, like when you see the regular comic book content that's becoming more popular, like outside of the anime and manga stuff, you've got Invincible and The Boys and stuff like that. It doesn't have a lot of bullshit built into it. It's just good good superhero stories, and it's more down to earth and gritty, and it's stuff that people want to read. Like I said, the mainstream comic book publishers lost their way and started going into all of the propaganda shit instead of just making a good story. And which we've talked about that with like TV shows and stuff too. It's like, I don't care if you have a gay character or whatever, like whatever your check the boxes character is, I don't give a shit as long as it's a good character. Like whenever the entire identity of the character is black lesbian, okay, so why should I fucking care other than it's a black lesbian?
Or they're just black Tony Stark. Like it's like, oh, and they're somehow better than Tony Stark. It's like why did you no Tony Stark is a character. Like why did you have to like replace him? Right.
It's like very unoriginal.
They're just giving Robert Downey Jr. a taste of his own medicine on that one.
Oh, the old Tropic Thunder. They Tropic Thunder did.
Did it to him.
Right. I've got that. I still need to watch that with Sean. I was like, I can't believe we haven't watched it. And he was like, what is it? I was like, oh shit, we got to watch this, and we still haven't. We got to sit. That's something we got to do this weekend, to sit down and watch Tropic Thunder. I don't know if he's ready for that level of our humor.
Yeah.
There are some things that I watch with him that even he is like, oh, Dad, really? I'm like, that shit's fucking hilarious. When you cross the line with a 16-year-old, that means it was high quality shit.
Yeah.
Speaking of TV shows and characters, this is what I wanted to talk about Friday, and then we didn't do anything on Friday, which is for the best, because I would have just been sitting in the house that I'm selling. And I ended up having somebody come look at the house, which is cool. Anyway, I'm going to sell that fucking thing. Nice. I got like 3 different people that have told me they're going to be putting in offers on it this week. So, yay! But nonetheless, speaking of TV shows and dumb shit, Stephanie and I have been watching Yellow Jackets since it started. And like the first season was crazy, and it progressively gets crazier every season. But also there's a lot of things that, like every single episode, I'm like, if this was a story about a plane full of dudes, like if it was a boys soccer team as opposed to a girls soccer team, the show wouldn't have lasted a single season. Like, because these girls are like lost in the woods and they're just like trying to figure out how to survive. I was like, if this was a plane full of boys that crashed in the woods, like, because they're in the continental U.S. So,
oh yeah,
it's like if this is a plane full of boys that crashed in the woods, they're gonna be like, all right, which way do we go? And then just all of them start fucking walking in one direction until they reach civilization. Instead, the girls are like freaking out and like have to hunker down and try to figure out how to survive. And all. It's like,
oh, this week it's my period.
It's like, fuck that. Like, we're still in the United States. Like, there's civilization somewhere within walking distance. Like, just take off.
Yeah, it's not like you're on a fucking desert island or some shit. You know, that's usually the scenario. Because that's like, oh, you're actually trapped. Otherwise, it's like, oh, maybe you take a day to get your bearings. You know, pack a fucking bag. You know, make sure everybody's, you know, not to have a broken fucking leg, and then we move the fuck out till you hit a power line or a water source and follow it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And if somebody does have a broken leg, we take turns carrying that motherfucker. Like,
yeah,
we're going home. Fuck this shit. Like, and then
yeah, man,
it has like the flashback scenes to when they're like stranded in the woods, and the power struggle between the girls and stuff. And it just reminds me of that. Remember the like reality series that they dropped a group of women on an island and a group of men. I know I've talked about it and played clips of it before where like the women keep trying to like leave their campsite and end up making a circle and going right back to the campsite that they started out in. And at one point, like they were all starving to death. And at one point the producers like dumped some pigs near them so that they would like have something that they could kill and eat. And instead they like made them into pets, but then their pet pigs starved to death because they didn't have any food for themselves, much less for some pet pigs. And then instead of like cooking the dead pigs, they buried them because, you know, they were their pets. Now, like these women are like literally dying. And also they're constantly fighting with each other for this like power struggle of who, like anytime somebody would come up with a good idea, the other ones would like berate the idea and drag her down and not let anybody else do it. Like this is what's happening in Yellow Jackets. Whereas with the guys, they went through like a week or two of some power struggle to figure out who was going to be the leader and what everybody's roles were. And then once they figured that shit out, then it was happy, joy. Like they're living their best life.
John's out here fishing. Like he's the best
After
fisherman.
that, they're like living their best life. Like they're having like a camping adventure with all their buds. Like the dudes are like meeting all of their objectives and building their campsite and like hunting and fishing and foraging and doing all the shit. And like this is what Yellow Jackets makes me think of. It's like every episode you get the flashback and it's like, oh man, if this was a group of guys, whoever the like alpha male is would walk up, punch that one in the face and be like, we're not doing that. And like it wouldn't but this past week, I wish Jay was on here. This past week, it's, you know, the future or the present. And because they have the story of them as adults, and then you've got the flashback to them in the woods as teenagers. So a couple of them find one of them that was in the woods with them, and because there's some weird shit that's been going on. So they find her, and they're about to like fuck her up. And she escapes, and she gets in her car, and she's fleeing. She's gonna escape, except that her car doesn't have any gas, and she only makes it like 10 miles down the road before she runs out of gas. And they catch her.
Oh, that's
I was like, oh my god,
context.
that is the perfect
woman thing ever.
The most woman thing ever. I looked dead at Stephanie. I didn't even say a word. She goes, "Shut up." I was like, I didn't say anything. She goes, "Shut up." Like, no good.
Fuck.
It was funny when Jay sent that message about his wife taking his car because hers didn't have any gas. I just busted out laughing. She goes, "What's so funny?" Jay's wife took his car or took his vehicle because her car didn't have any gas. She goes, "You shut up." And I was like, you asked me what was so funny. I didn't even say anything else. I just said, you know, she took his because hers didn't have gas. Is that just like a woman thing? Because like before I get to work, I stop and I fill my truck up with gas. That way when I get off work, I just go home. Like I don't have to stop. It's the same whenever I take the kids to school. If I'm like low on gas, after I drop the kids off at school, I go fill up with gas. Like while I'm out, I don't come back home and then wait to go get gas later. Like,
or like I knew I'm gonna need gas for the week, and yesterday I was low, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna run by the gas station and go fill up, so I just have gas for the week. And then,
right?
But my wife will like run all the way out, and she's like, I need to get gas, and it's like, or like she'll be like, less than a quarter of a tank. She's like, stop and get gas. It's like, you could have stopped and get gas like earlier before. It's like,
yeah, it's like, why did you come all the way home with your car on empty? Like, why didn't you stop somewhere and fill up before you came home? I don't understand I know you're coming home and now you're not leaving again, but also like, what if it's the middle of the night and like you have to leave.
Modern cars
happens.
And on the modern cars, what's even worse about it is like it, like you can have it show you how many like miles, quote unquote, like estimated that you have left, and that's usually what I use to keep up with it. Like, oh well, I only got 40 miles left. Let me stop by here and get some gas and whatever. My wife will be like, it's like 20 miles left, and she's like, oh, I need to get gas. I'm like, yeah, you do. Like, you should have got it earlier.
And like, I'll run it pretty tight. Like, it's 58 miles from my house to work. So as long as I'm above like 80, or I know I'm going to be above 80 whenever I get home, then I've got enough gas to get me back to work. And then I'll fill up, before I go to work. Like I always have enough gas to get me to a destination. Like I might be low, but I can get where I've got to go if I've got to go somewhere. Like I'm not like, oh my God, I got to get like to the gas station right here 5 miles down the road in town, or I'm not going to make it anywhere. Like what is that logic? Are we just like pre-programmed for flight? Like we're ready to escape at a moment's notice, and women are more like and staced and not.
Here's the way it's been explained to me, and not necessarily just the gas thing, but one of the general differences between men and women is like, okay, women like plan, right? But like men plan for the plan to not work out. So when a plan doesn't work out, women kind of freak the fuck out, and we can sort of think on the fly. But that's kind of the thing, is we sort of plan for the plan to not work. So we plan for the unplanned, where women plan for the plan. So I think that, because my thing is like, okay, we wake up in the morning and on the news, oh, we're going to have a hurricane in a week. First news that we've heard of it. Guess what? Can't go fucking get gas, or getting gas is a big fucking pain in the ass, or what the fuck ever. Any sort of disaster happens, some shit happens in the middle of the night. I want to be able to wake up in the morning and know I have enough gas to drive a few hundred miles, to, not that I evacuate for hurricanes, but maybe something worse, or just for some reason gas isn't available because of some geopolitical thing or a pipeline disaster or what the fuck ever. I want to make sure I'm, prepared for that. So usually me, it's like half tank, or more. If I get around half tank, usually I got to stop at some point anyhow. If I'm like, driving to Miami, I want to make sure I always have enough gas in my car to drive back to my fucking house, no matter where I'm at in that fucking trip, which it takes about half a tank. So, just shit like that. Like I try to be very, I want to be able to, if there's a big fucking disaster emergency, I want to not be fucked with no fucking gas, not be able to get home to my wife, or, not be able to evacuate if we need to, for some reason. So that's a big thing. And then, yeah, it's just fucking convenience too, dude. I don't want to, if I'm running late in the morning, I don't want to have to stop for fucking gas, Yeah. So I want to make sure I have fucking gas, so I can fucking
my wife, that's the funniest thing, is like the inconvenience of it. Is like my wife would be like, oh, I got to stop and get gas this morning because I don't have any. I was like, you could have stopped yesterday. Like we especially on like Sunday or whatever, like Sunday, we don't have to like go anywhere like necessarily, or do like. I
got to hit the gas station for that tall boy when I get out of work anyhow. So, I usually just get gas then.
Yeah.
And then I'm set for the next day.
But that's like, yeah, like what you were talking about. like, what if I'm running late? What if I oversleep? And then I've also got to get gas. Is like, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I know what's happening right now. I can go get fucking gas right now. Like in the morning, God knows what's going to happen. You know.
Yep.
I do think that is interesting though. Like talking about the women plan for the plan, whereas men plan for the plan to fail. Like I always have a really good plan for stuff, and I also have like 7 contingency plans of, well, here's the plan, but these are the points in the plan that could potentially fuck up. So if this one fucks up, this is the plan for that. If this one fucks up, this is the plan for that. You know, and then also if the plan for the fuck up also fucks up, then I've got a plan for that as well. So there's like 17 different plans built into the one plan, and when you try to explain that to somebody who doesn't think like that, they're like, how do you just know all of that? I'm like, what do you mean? That's like built in. That's not even like, I didn't even put any thought into that.
It just runs in the background, you know?
Yeah. It's like a, you know, even just, you know, I went to, you know, a trade show or whatever. And like, it's weird how, you know, you just walk into the building and you're like, okay, here's the entrance here, you know, that's also, you know, kind of an exit. The entrance is also an exit. There's an exit over there. There's this, there's that, you know, just in case like something happens. And you don't even, you do that quick like assessment without even thinking a lot of times.
You should. Yeah. Yeah, man. It is crazy how much people are just not aware. And I mean, it's easy to do a men-women divide, but a lot of men are stupid fucking pussies these days, and share a lot of the same qualities. So, you know, I just got to say people in general are just so unaware of their surroundings. It's nuts.
I'm trying to work on that with Sean because he's not good at he doesn't think anything through. I'm like, dude, like, how did you not think that would go wrong? Number one, how did you not realize that was definitely going to go wrong? And number two, how did you not have a plan for when it went wrong? He's like, I didn't have a plan for that to begin with.
I didn't have a plan for it to go right.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, shit.
It's like, objectively, I was probably a pretty terrible fucking kid. Like I got into a lot of shit. I also never got caught in anything because I already knew every possible failure point of the crazy shit we were doing. And I had an escape plan. Everybody else might end up fucked, but I was going to be nowhere near the scene whenever everything hit the fan. Like,
dude, that always blew my mind as a kid. The same thing. I noticed that shit. I was like, the things my friends, oh, let's go. Like we would go somewhere to like smoke weed. And they're like, oh, let's go, you know, behind the grocery store to smoke pot. I'm like, no, dude, you're not supposed to be there. Like, it's much better to sit in the parking lot in a car where there's a million other parked cars, not take your car and park it somewhere where there's no other cars parked. You know what I mean? Like, that's where you draw attention, you know? My wife got in trouble one time. Her and her friends were out picking mushrooms, and they parked the car at the end of the road by the field because they thought that it'd be suspicious to park it on the street in front of someone's house. And I'm like, oh, you mean where everybody parks cars? Like, yeah, you park your car where everybody else parks your car, and you park it in front of the fucking shroom field. And the cops ended up showing up at her house while she wasn't there, and woke her mom up in the middle of the night and said, yeah, we think your daughter's out picking shrooms.
But so on that though, like we would have these big blowout parties at a buddy's house when I was in college, and every once in a while, a party would get broken up, cops would get called or something. But like all of the cars are right there by the house. There was a little ways down, about 1/10 of a mile down the road, there was a little asphalt spot right next to some woods, and I would always back in to that little asphalt spot. And they're like, "Why do you always park down there and then walk up to the house?" I'm like, because if shit hits the fan, I can go out the window in the back of the house, hit those woods, be in my truck,
hell yeah,
out of here before anybody even realizes I was here. Like, what do you like? Nobody's gonna see me pull out down there. Like, I've already got an escape plan worked out for like any room in this house that I'm in. I can be out of here and gone before anybody even realizes I got outside. Like, I ain't fucking around with y'all. Y'all can all go to jail.
Yeah, that's like when I would.
Does that make me a bad friend?
I guess it depends. Like, if they were being a dumbass and then and did something stupid, then maybe you're not being a bad friend. Like,
I mean, if you can fit out the window, you're more than welcome to like run with me, but you better shut the fuck up and not make any noise on the way. And if you get lost in the woods between here and the truck, you're on your own. I'm not waiting for you once I get to the truck. I won't leave you in the house, but I will leave your ass in the woods.
Yeah, it's not quite like every man for himself, but it's also not like all for one for all in that situation. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of both. Say, hey man, we can help each other out, but within reason. No need for us all to get arrested.
Right, your ass better be able to keep up. Like, it's like
the
like if you're running from a bear in the woods. Like, I don't have to be faster than the bear. I just got to be faster than you.
There's a car in front of me.
It comes down between me and you. Like, if you trip, I didn't have anything to do with it. Like,
right. Yeah. I'm not going to trip you, but I might also, not go out of my way to not kick stuff in front of you.
Yeah, and I can. What's that? That show, Walking Dead. Shane. I'm not going to Shane you. He shoots the guy in the leg. Oh yeah, he fell behind.
Oh man.
There's a car in front of me and the license plate says woman veteran. And it's a Subaru.
Oh god.
Do we need to make assumptions? Yeah.
Yes, make assumptions.
I actually rolled my window up because I'm tinting a Subaru this morning and I don't want this to be my customer in front of me and they overhear me making fun of them.
Did I tell you? I just realized the other day. So my ex got a new car, and I just realized the other day it's a Subaru. I was like, oh my god. Sean even made fun of her. He's like, Mom, really?
The pink mohawk wasn't enough.
Like, we don't have to perpetuate the stereotypes. Like, that time I asked Nadia what she wanted for lunch, and she said fried chicken and watermelon. I was like, oh my gosh, we don't have to perpetuate the stereotypes. You could have picked something else.
Fried chicken does sound good.
I know. I mean, I was all for it. It's like, whatever. I like fried chicken. Fuck it. And just, like, you could have picked Chinese food or something. We didn't have to go all out with. At least she doesn't like grape soda. So.
Orange soda gal, huh?
That reminds me of Keenan and Kel.
I even like, because sometimes the little grocery store here in town will have like the Kroger brand 2 liters. They'll have 10 for $10. Which, I mean, I don't even drink a lot of soda, but it's like, holy fuck, like that's a hell of a deal. So I'll get the different flavored stuff, like the grape and the like the not just straight,
just black.
Yeah, just black. Not just like straight Coke and Dr. Pepper type stuff. Like I'll get the like fruit flavored stuff. I don't think it's much less sugar, but it seems like it's a little bit less. Anyway. So I got like grape, and I was like, Nadia, you want some of this? She's like, oh, I don't like that stuff. I'm like, wait, what? Now I'm like really confused. Like, what's Kel done? I know Keen.
I saw Kel in something the other day, and I'm blanking on what it was now.
He was in.
We watched Free Willy, but I don't think it was that.
He had some kind of game show that he was hosting at one point. I remember because my wife had it on, and I was like, "Wait, that's Kel." Wait.
Oh man, it's gonna drive me nuts. What was it?
It's like
it'll come to me.
He's on Saturday Night Live, and he's done a bunch of other stuff. But
yeah, let's see. What was the game show? It was like a serious game show too. It wasn't like a joke. It wasn't like a Nickelodeon type show or whatever. It was.
You replaced that British lady on Weakest Link.
That would be funny.
No, it was some kind of like like, or not survival, but like a challenge show, like where they would do kind of like, hey, you know, if you can stay in this room or if you can solve this puzzle kind of thing. There was all kind of different challenges. I can't remember what the name of the show for the life of me is though.
The dude from American Pie, the main guy, the guy who fucked the pie, he's hosting a baking game show now. And he mentioned in there that he specific in his contract it specifically says they can't do any pie stuff. he's like they asked me to do this baking show and I had to we had to stipulate no pie humor. He's like, this is the pie humor right here. This is what we get. The first time he was doing the baking show, I'm like, no, they can't make a guy who fucks the pastries the host of the baking show. So they did address it. So there will be no pies in the show.
Have y'all watched the Is It Cake?
Yes, it's awesome.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Like just fucking around, like looking at dumb shit on Netflix. We came across Is It Cake? And like Nadia and I were sitting in the living room one day, and I was like, "You want to watch this?" She's like, "Okay." We put it on. We got hooked. We ended up watching like 6 straight episodes before we even realized like we had been sitting there all afternoon just watching Is It Cake? That shit's nuts.
Yeah, we watched them all. Yeah.
It's amazing the dumb shit that'll get us hooked. Like, oh, is it cake? I don't know. Oh shit! Like sometimes you can tell.
That was the
and
cake.
then sometimes the one that really looks like it's cake is actually real. Like, what the fuck?
Well, so we were talking about the car stereo shop before, and like, you know, I used to fabricate a lot of shit, and you fabricate it to look like other shit. And me and the shop as a group one time, we went to like the Halloween Horror Nights, you know, like the amusement parks, you know, with the haunted houses and stuff. And all of us are walking through the haunted houses, and I noticed that like everybody is just that we're touching the shit. We're like, oh, what is this? What is this made out of? How did they make this? You know what I mean? It's like fabrication and, you know, almost like movie prop making and shit. And it's just, you know, same kind of shit, same level. So we're all really into it. And I'm watching these cake shows, and I'm like, holy shit, this isn't just like faggy bakers, dude. Like these motherfuckers are like legit fabricating stuff, and like they're doing them like, to, you know, oh, we have to make this look like a fucking suitcase, so we have to give it texture, and so they're, you know, they're rubbing stuff, you know, fucking extremely impressive, very impressive. Some of these motherfuckers, very smart.
Yeah.
My thing is, I don't want to build something that's made to get eaten or destroyed.
They kind of have
Sorry,
to
I'm done. Go ahead.
of like how to, like it's weird. They have to do the kind of science and math of like, okay, when I break this compound down, like I can bend it to where I can kind of frame whatever I'm trying to do or whatever. Like if I'm trying to make it like a suitcase or whatever, I have to frame it that way or whatever.
You got to build like a skeleton to put inside of it sometimes, you know, so it supports correctly.
Yeah.
Got to accentuate what looks good and try to hide your fuck ups as best you can because nothing's perfect.
It's like building a house, but they're building cake. Like it's like, well.
Bitch, is this cake? Oh fuck. Yeah, that's one that definitely every time there's a new season, the wife gets very excited. We finished Love on the Spectrum, new season of Love on the Spectrum yesterday.
My wife has started watching that pop balloon show or whatever. She's been watching the Love Is Blind. That's one she really likes is Love Is Blind, and she started watching She watched the regular Love Is Blind, and she's caught up on.
Is that with blind people?
No. This is where they just like they can't see each other through a wall. Like they're separated by a wall, but they can talk through the wall, but they can't see each other.
No, but if it's not a love show based on a disability, I don't want to watch it. I want to see blind dating. I want to see deaf dating. I'll see all that. But if you're an able-bodied person, I got no interest in you.
I think they did a Love Is Blind edition. I don't know.
It kind of makes me glad that my wife just watches like crime dramas and shit. Or she also really get like anytime there's a new season of Project Runway or sometimes America's Next Top Model, but not as much. But like Project Runway, where they're like, they got the
Caddy
clothes,
bitches.
they're the up and coming clothes designers that are making shit for their models and and doing all this. Like, she gets really into that, and then I fuck around and like I'll walk in and out of the room and see like parts of the episode, and I'll see the clothes and shit that they're making. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then I'll get invested. I'm like, what is that? What's that supposed to be? This is fucking fashion? What do you mean? Or sometimes it's like, oh, that's really actually neat. I would never ever wear anything like that, but it looks pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
and they've always got like, they're always these like big personalities, or you get like interestingly enough, you'll get like a straight black dude or like a straight Hispanic dude. Like, everybody else is either a woman or a gay, and you get the one straight dude, and it's like, that guy actually makes like good looking clothes, but there's no way he's gonna win because like it's a straight dude. Like, he's like, the deck is stacked against him, man.
Like you make a nice 3-piece suit or something like that. You know, it's not gonna be nearly as cool as the sort of like swan wrapped around the woman that accentuates her boobs or something like that. That the weird gay guy's gonna come up with.
Well, on that show, they don't really have to worry about accentuating boobs because none of the models have those. They're all they are all like traditional models. They're all basically like some sticks super glued together, so with a head on top. Like, that's it.
Hell yeah! Back when we were a proper country,
Right, the way a model should look.
you have a hard time hanging the clothes on them. You can't get this shirt to stay on. It just falls right,
See,
through.
Now all the models are fat and retarded.
Oh, you want me to do it?
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.